Ububese fruit is one of those botanical mysteries that rarely reaches global awareness yet remains deeply rooted in rural African landscapes. Known in several regions of southern Africa, the fruit belongs to lesser documented indigenous shrubs that thrive in grassland-savanna intersections and semi-wild smallhold ecosystems. In many communities, Ububese is collected seasonally, often eaten fresh, mashed, or turned into a thickened paste used in homemade sweet blends, porridges, or alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. The fruit generally presents as a small spherical drupe with a golden, yellow or lightly orange skin. Its size resembles a large marble, although the shape tends to be more oval depending on the variety. When ripe, its flesh softens into a creamy, pudding-like interior that almost melts when pressed between fingers. This characteristic softness is one reason children consume it directly from the tree, no peeling, no boiling, just cracking the thin skin and eating the pulp. Its flavor profile is surprisingly complex. While sweetness is dominant, there is a faint lactic undertone reminiscent of custard apple or ripe banana flesh. Farmers identify ripeness based on aroma rather than visual cues. The fruit emits a mild caramelized fragrance when ready for harvest. Historically, rural communities used Ububese as a compact energy food during travel or fieldwork. Women collected large woven baskets of it and spread them to sun soften slightly. This increased sweetness and reduced acidity. Nutritionally, Ububese stands as an important seasonal micronutrient source. The pulp contains notable amounts of vitamin C, essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, and soluble fiber that contributes to satiety. Its soft composition suggests pectin presence, used in traditional thickened sauces. The seed is not typically eaten, although it is sometimes dried and crushed into flour substitutions when food scarcity is present. One forgotten cultural fact is how Ububese historically interacted with fermentation practices. Before modern sugar availability, certain fruits, including Ububese, were used as sweetening agents for homemade brews. The pulp was mashed and combined with starchy bases, then sun-exposed to activate natural fermentation. Its sugars break down slowly, giving beverages a smoother taste. This ancient process still persists among rural elders even if younger generations lean toward packaged drinks. Botanically, the fruit emerges on small semi-woody shrubs that rarely exceed human height. Leaves appear oblong, sometimes rounded, arranged sparsely rather than densely. The tree withstands mild drought and often grows in transitional soils near grazing areas. Its roots do not require irrigation, instead, they exploit deep embedded subterranean moisture. In this sense, Ububese represents ecological adaptation typical of African plant resilience, producing edible yields without intensive soil input. Interestingly, the fruit's seasonal nature shaped food distribution. During peak periods, especially late rainy season, excess fruits were ground into a thick pulp and stored in gourds or clay vessels. This was mixed with cooked millet flour to create dense energy balls. Travelers carried these because they did not spoil rapidly. The practice mirrors what other cultures did with dates, tamarind paste or ground plantains. When discussing taste evolution, unripe Ububese is visibly firmer and mildly resinous. Traditional healers used these younger fruits medicinally. They were boiled and consumed as digestive aid preparations. The boiled extract was administered particularly to children, mainly because the fruit was naturally palatable and did not require masking flavor. Modern fruit research identifies potential bioactive compounds within Ububese pulp. Antioxidant flavonoids and certain organic acids appear at measurable levels. Local herbalists already understood these benefits empirically, even if scientific terms were unknown. For them, Ububese was simply a strength fruit, energizing, stomach-soothing and filling. A unique socio-economic dimension exists. Ububese rarely enters formal market systems. Instead, it functions as a household value fruit, usually exchanged informally. When sold, it appears in small piles wrapped in leaves or newspaper sheets. Children often become small-scale vendors of seasonal baskets, earning coins for schooling. This semi-informal trade tradition remains a meaningful, microeconomic support network. One major reason the fruit did not widely commercialize is its perishability. Once ripe, its soft interior collapses quickly and bruises easily. This fragility makes long-distance transportation impractical without cold storage. Consequently, Ububese stayed local and unindustrialized, which ironically preserved authenticity. Nothing about its distribution is artificial. From an ethnobotanical perspective, Ububese also carried identity significance. Certain families used ripening seasons as agricultural markers. If Ububese ripened early, rains were believed to be delayed. If late, some elders predicted abundant grazing conditions. These observations shaped pastoral planning. Today, the fruit is quietly gaining attention in niche food research circles. As global interest in heritage fruits rises, researchers see Ububese as a model for resilient cultivation. Slow water consumption, minimal soil needs, pollinator-friendly flowers, and human-usable fruit make it an overlooked agricultural candidate. If future horticultural work focuses on selective breeding, especially for firmer pulp, Ububese could join commercial African fruit export lines alongside baobab pulp, marula derivatives and hibiscus calyx products. With drying and pulping techniques, Ububese could become shelf-stable, blended into soluble nutritional powders or fruit concentrates. Ultimately, Ububese carries layers of meaning, cultural memory, ecological persistence, nutritional role, microeconomic support and ancestral food identity. What looks like a small soft fruit is actually a resilient food system fragment, a reminder that wild fruits fed civilizations long before plantations and supermarkets existed. When consumed fresh off the tree, Ububese becomes a timeless experience, sweetness, softness, aroma, memory, all inside a fruit hardly known beyond its homeland.